Hey guys, Deepak Shukla here again from Serpwizz. Welcome back to another one of our explanatory videos. Head over to serpwizz.com if you're interested in getting a free, instantly actionable SEO audit. So right now we're talking about avoids document write. Okay, so this has come up on the Pearl Lemon site, something that we passed, but I want to talk about fundamentally if this comes up, what it means, and what you need to do about it fundamentally. So ultimately for users that are on slower connections, so that could be, depending upon where you are, it could be 4G, it could be 3G, it could be 2G. External scripts dynamically injected via document write can delay page load by tens of seconds. So there'll be lots of sites where it doesn't. Sorry, I thought there was something on my screen. Lots of sites where it doesn't really have any bearing, but fundamentally it's about the external scripts that are injected, as it says, and that can really slow down your site. So if we jump into here, and as you can tell, I don't understand it really intimately, but I've got kind of a handle on it. So it's bad for users on slow connections. Chrome generally blocks it in many cases, so you can't rely upon it. Okay, and you'll see the following message: avoid using document write. You'll also see it in Dev Console in Firefox. And bum, ba, dum, ba, dum. For most problematic uses, Chrome will either block the calls or emit a console warning about them, depending upon the user's connection speed. But it appears in DevTools, okay, and it adversely affects performance no matter how it's used, and there's better alternatives. So just remove this in your code. If it's being used to inject third-party scripts, try asynchronous loading, so they don't need to load at the same time. Okay, so that's what asynchronous loading is. Third-party code is using document write. Ask the providers to support asynchronous loading. Asynchronous loading, basically, it's about loading not synchronously, so not waiting to load at the same time. You can load, at different times, which speeds up the whole process overall. So that's that there. And if we go to here, the Googles again, using document write. So a couple of things. What is document write with an example? The doc write method writes a string of text to a document stream opened by this, and then it automatically calls the document, which probably isn't very clear. This is perhaps better. It writes HTML expressions or JavaScript code to a document. The write method is mostly used for testing. If it is used after an HTML document is fully loaded, it will delete all existing HTML write-in methods. So I don't know how. Is it slow? Here we go. We've learned that pages featuring third-party scripts inserted via document write are typically twice as slow to load than other pages on 2G. We collected data from a 28-day field trial. 1% of stable Chrome users restricted to 2G connections. So, I mean, if it's twice as slow on 2G, you can kind of scale it up, okay? And that's the other element of it. So this is the part that's interesting to me. This was on Stack Overflow. Is it deprecated? Like, does it matter? Are people using it? Well, so no, it's not deprecated. It's just most often considered bad practice and almost misused as eval. Why is document write considered bad practice? This was in 2012, but let's go now to the past year and let's have a look. So we've got a blog on it here in 2020, and here also, and here, talking about the violation message that people see. Basically, what document write does is delay the main content document of the web page for a long time. It's possible to say that method is harmful to your page. Also, for this reason, Chrome has decided not to run the parameters added with this command anymore. Okay, so Chrome won't run it, other browsers will. And there's various don't inject markup in a page using JavaScript. So that's about the injections via code. Just they don't like it. Blah 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 blah. This is 8 years active for a couple of years, viewed 4,000 times. So yeah, guys, I hope that this kind of broadly makes sense. How to avoid it in WordPress. Bum, 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 bum. Here we go. WordPress plugins. Ask them to replace the function. If all else fails, simply load it in Chrome. If you have access to the actual code that inserts this JavaScript in your website, you can easily add a tag like this. Asynchronously loading is typically better than deferring. So Avoid document write as an audit you can fail. It can seriously impact the loading time. Yeah, guys. So I hope that all of this makes sense to a degree. With document write, it is a little bit complex, I presume, but hopefully you've got the ability to understand it and now do something about it. Catch you in the next one.